Hello, my name is Clinton Packard, and this is a selection of poems from my senior thesis project. This first poem is called Stories for the Road. I live in America, this much I know. Where the 371 crests the mountain and greets the 74, there's a blink and you'll miss it diner. I can't tell you the name of it. The spot is our little secret. Say a prayer to ward away the prying cameras of Guy Fieri. There's the regular guy in his favorite counter seat, just like all the days before and, God willing, just like all the days to come. He's here so much that they named a burger after him. Comes with a side of fries. So does everything else on the menu. Down the road a ways, about a mile, there's a big, wide-open field where they filmed an episode of Bonanza. Which episode? I'm not sure any of us know. Not that it matters anyway. On screen, it's just good old Ponderosa Ranch. Lorne Greene is long since dead, another ghost haunting a soundstage in Burbank, but I'm sure someone somewhere remembers him. Or maybe they only remember his character, Ben Cartwright. Deadeye, lady killer, cowboy extraordinaire, and all his fantastically fake adventures. One little star lost among a tapestry of shining silver. Just like Lorne, the regular guy will die one day too. And just like Ben, his burger will outlive him. Maybe they'll put his picture up on the wall. Maybe they'll cast his usual bar stool in bronze, ass print and all. I live in America. I live in glory, in blood, in excess, in minds and hearts that I will never meet. I live in fear of what my father has wrought. I live in shame of my own destiny. This much I know. This poem is called Ars Poetica at the Salton Sea. I gathered up my dusty thoughts and took them out to the Salton Sea. I had no more use for them, not that I want to hang on to them anyway. Why did I settle on the written word? Why did I sever my arm with a pen in my hand? Writers have to be unwaveringly confident in their own ability, or delusional enough to believe that they have any, and of course stubborn enough to keep carrying on, despite themselves. But I keep myself small. I know what comes of pride. Poetry is a living thing. Poetry is an experiment. It has to be opened and upended, dried up like the next millennium sea until its innards are laid bare, and its fish meet their sizzling end under the desert sun. And for what? Self-betterment, or simply the gruesome sport of it? The sulfuric water sparkles in the late December sun. Winter is the desert's tourist season. Canadian snowbirds marvel at the warmth of decay, laughing and buying and eating like it's life's glorious after-party, awestruck by the endless summer slowly swallowing the flatlands. The desert simply is, and they love it for that. It does not change. It merely burns away. It paints its own immortal portrait, and they love it for that. I'm content to leave well enough alone. It's a beautiful evening, isn't it? This poem is called Lone Ranger. I've done my time in the desert, been to the Rockies and back, up and down the Sierras. You can't imagine what I've seen, what I've done, who I've met. I once found love under a Joshua tree. He was sharp gaze, sharp spurs, sharpshooter, right to the heart. He's got more venom in his veins than a rattlesnake, and the kind of voice that'll leave you unarmed and undressed. He was the most dangerous man in the West. He's got fire in his eyes, a fire that makes me want to run for my life. But do I want to run away, or right into his arms? I've been wandering the desert alone for as long as I can remember. Loneliness is all too familiar. Am I willing to give up my lonesome independence? Am I willing to let my heart breathe in the cool night air, knowing it can never be the same? This poem is called Tall Tales from the Wandering Generation. What do you tell to a world expecting something of your boundless potential? To your family, you tell them you're doing fine and not much else. Your mother would have a heart attack if she knew what you did last night. To your friends, you swap stories of your own demise, laughing with each other's pain until your heart hurts for the youthful and the damned. On your resume, you shine brighter than any star. Effective communicator just means you can lie and get away with it. To yourself, You don't let this one speak. You drown it with anything you've got, because it knows how to bash in your kneecaps with just a word. This poem is called Salvation Mountain. God is love, so says Leonard Knight, visionary, dementia victim, American Messiah. The cross stands tall against the sunset, towering above the painted rocks, each one lost in its own noise, shouting in color, casting silent voices of love and light out to the filled-up parking lot. It's a tourist trap. It's a church. It's art. You have to look at it sideways to really see the truth of it. There, beyond the cross, beyond the parking lot, beyond the motel lights of Slab City, beyond even the permanence of the mountains, God might be out there, waiting for us to find the answer. This poem is called Conglomerates. You can get away with anything if you tell a good enough story. The people are tired. The storytellers work us to the bone and feed our burnt-out minds stories of consumption, of powerful weapons and mighty heroes fighting for unquestionable good. And we listen because we are tired, because we are beaten down and need to know that good exists somewhere, even if it's in another world, where we can only observe, silently, unable to stop, the crafted narratives of gods and heroes. Why have a twist anymore? The winner gets to tell the story, and it seems like the good always win. The good are always powerful. If you question good, then you are bad, but you're too tired to argue. This poem is called Cold War. When I think of the button, the one that promises to rend the skin off our bones in the cleansing combustion of lethally unstable plutonium isotopes, I imagine a big rosy red button, the size of a Coke can, standing on a pedestal in a stark white room. The button, which happens to control an arbitrarily large amount of deadly nuclear weaponry, is on 24-hour guard by two identical men wearing identical suits and identical pairs of sunglasses, even though they're stationed under the Pentagon, behind 3 sets of rooms, each with 6-inch thick concrete walls. And when it comes time to push the button, when the money stops flowing and young men's bodies line the streets like dandelions, Mr. President has to ask for 2 keys from 2 different people on 2 different coasts. And then he power walks through room after room with Secret Service at his side until he reaches his final decision. Are you sure, Mr. President? Must the ship go down with its captain? He will have sent his wife and his children off to a secret bunker in West Virginia, where all the important folk will wait for the next sunrise in utilitarian luxury. The rest of us will simply wait. Wait and pray. What will you do without us, Mr. President? When your great-great-grandchildren finally meet that fateful day when the world becomes just barely habitable once more, when they see the sunlight they only heard of in stories wash over the fallen trees and barren fields, they will see how foolish we were to ever see value in complete annihilative power. The moon will shine down on them. The footprints of their ancestors survive on its silvery surface, silently watching humanity stubbornly outlast itself. This poem is called ROC Flag Eagle. The American only feels their heartbeat at the sight of the flag. Their mind wanders to the faceless young man who pays for our freedom in life and in bullets, so that we have the freedom to spend money. Some of us are afraid of spaces without flags flying. Some of us are afraid of the color red. Yet others are afraid of acknowledging their crushingly comfortable guilt. And they, the monolithic 1%, they are afraid of us rediscovering our humanity, free from arbitrary numbers. We are told that we have too much time on our hands, and so they give us a generous choice. Sell your time. Sell your body. Sell your humanity. Give to those who have, and take from those who don't, until the scales break, until the endless cycle has reached its explosive end. Give all you have in the name of freedom on high, or starve. This poem is called Looking for Love Over the Rainbow. I will protect you. I will take care of you. I will love you as you are. I will love myself. This final poem is called Farewell. That's that. I'm afraid it wasn't earth-shatteringly bold, or even well thought out. I wanted to prove to myself that I could do it, and I made it. My engine's sputtering. I'm driving on my rims, and gravity pushed my car into the gas station. But by God, I did it. Thank you, truly, for everything that you've done for me. This has been a sampling of my senior thesis. Once again, my name is Clinton Packard, and thank you for listening.